Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we're going to be reading from Dancing with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary catechism, written by Sadhguru Siva Subramanian Swami, a richly illustrated sourcebook of Indian spirituality in question and answer form, exploring how to know the divine, honor all creation, and see God everywhere, in everyone. Today's lesson is lesson 147, and we'll begin by reading the caption to the facing image. God, soul, and world are the sum of existence. In Shaiva Siddhanta, God is called Pati, meaning Lord or Master, shown as an animated Shiva. Pashu, meaning cow or beast, is the soul. Pasha, the world which binds the soul, is the rope in Shiva's hand. Lesson 147. What are the two views on creation? Shloka 147. Monistic theists believe that Shiva creates the cosmos as an emanation of himself. He is his creation. Pluralistic theists hold that Shiva molds eternally existing matter to fashion the cosmos and is thus not his creation. Om. Bhashya. Pluralistic Siddhantins hold that God, souls, and world, Pati, Pashu, and Pasha, are three eternally coexistent realities. By creation, this school understands that Shiva fashions existing matter, Maya, into various forms. In other words, God, like a potter, is the efficient cause of the cosmos, but he is not the material cause, the clay from which the cosmos is formed. Pluralists hold that any reason for the creation of Pasha, Anava, Karma, and Maya, whether it be a divine desire, a demonstration of glory, or merely a playful sport, makes the creator less than perfect. Therefore, Pasha could never have been created. Monistic Siddhantins totally reject the potter analogy. They teach that God is simultaneously the efficient, instrumental, and material cause. Shiva is constantly emanating creation from himself. His act of manifestation may be likened to heat issuing from a fire, a mountain from the earth, or waves from the ocean. The heat is the fire, the mountain is the earth, the waves are not different from the ocean. The Vedas proclaim, in that all this unites, from that all issues forth. He, omnipresent, is the warp and woof of all created things. Om Namah Shivaya. Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we're going to be reading from Living with Shiva, Hinduism's contemporary culture, written by Sadhguru Siva Subramanian Swami. 365 daily lessons based on ancient Vedic laws, disclosing how to approach family, money, relationships, technology, food, worship, yoga, and karma to live a truly spiritual life. Today's lesson is lesson 147, and the topic is commitment to harmony. Traditionally, every Hindu family should have a family kulaguru, a preceptor who knows the flow of karma within all the family connections and the birth dharma of the family itself. To be without a kulaguru is likened to a child being without its parents. One of the greatest disruptive forces in a marriage is the amateur psychiatrist or psychologist practicing on his or her spouse. This tactic for solving problems is totally unacceptable. Such efforts, however well intended, to straighten out a spouse through subconscious analysis are antagonizing, disruptive, and hurtful emotionally and mentally. All these psychiatric games are based on the principle, something is wrong with you and I'm going to straighten it out. Come to me, I have all the solutions. Shaivism is different. It is based on the principle that you are perfect. The only problem is that you don't know it. Let's talk ourselves into our own perfection through reading scripture, praying, doing Shiva Tondu together, doing Japa together, to lift our consciousness into the perfection that is always there. If your spouse is trying to hurt you, protect yourself in the Sanatana Dharma as your first line of defense, recognizing that this is your karma. Fulfill your dharma fully, be it Stri Dharma or Purusha Dharma, the best you understand it. The Vedas assure us that truth always wins over evil. Mundaka Upanishad. It is the wife's duty to uplift the husband's duty to uplift the wife. A husband bent on hurting his wife could not outlast. His hurtfulness could not survive. The wife's chanting Om, Om, Om all day long and placing spiritual vibrations into his food. In this way, good overcomes evil. Ahimsa overcomes himsa. Dharma overcomes adharma. This is why we are born on this planet, to evolve through such challenges. We are here for no other reason. But should the husband ever become physically violent, the wife should take the children and run to safety. She should stay in a safe place until he has undergone counseling, made amends to her and to the congregation, asked the family guru to prescribe a penance, and fully performed that penance. When families who are trying to meditate and unfold spiritually go through times of internal or external violence, they should not practice Raja Yoga or other forms of meditation. This will only aggravate and worsen the situation. Yoga practices are not for them. What they should do is Shiva Tondu or Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and simple Japa Yoga. That is all. If a disharmonious situation comes up between husband and wife, they must resolve it before they go to bed, even if they must stay up all night into the light of day. Sleep puts the problem to rest over a period of 2 or 3 nights, and it will eventually fade into the memory patterns of forgetfulness over a longer period of time. Having sex does not solve the problem. It puts the problem into seed, into the memory patterns of current forgetfulness, and these will definitely materialize at another time. Sex and sleep are not solutions to marital disputes. One is immediate postponement and the other is a slower postponement. To resolve a conflict between husband and wife, lest it affect the lives of the children by being postponed into forgetfulness. It must be done before sleep. There is no other way. This is the way husbands and wives catalyze their spiritual unfoldment on the path and develop themselves. Another reason sex is not a solution to disharmony is that babies that are conceived in a union that is supposed to settle a squabble are more often than not invoked from the Narakaloka. Such children might harass the family for the rest of their lives. Sutra 147 of the Nandinada Sutras, providing early sex education. Shiva's followers teach their sons and daughters between ages 4 and 10 about the cycles of life and the principles of virtue, and when puberty arrives, require them to take the sacred vow of celibacy until marriage. Om. Good morning and vanakkam. In this video, we'll be reading from Merging with Shiva, Hinduism's Contemporary Metaphysics, written by Sadguru Siva Subramania Swami. 365 enlightenment lessons from a mystical master, revealing the depths of Raja Yoga, the clear white light, the states of mind, and the ultimate spiritual destiny of every seeker. Today's lesson is lesson 147, and the topic is unconditional surrender. What do we mean by internalizing worship? In external worship, we are trying to see God and communicate with God with our two eyes and our physical nerve system. We enjoy His darshan and feel His Shakti. In deep meditation, the external worship is deliberately internalized, and we are trying to see God with our third eye and feel God's all-pervasiveness through our psychic nerve system. Externalizing bhakti is really much easier than internalizing it. But once the externalized bhakti is perfected, it will be easy and natural to internalize bhakti right along. When this is accomplished, the most rigorous hurdles and time-consuming practices of yoga, which often lead the person onto Anava Marga, will have been sidestepped. To internalize worship, after the puja is over, sit before the deity and draw into yourself all the pranas you feel around your body. Then draw those energies up the spine into the head. This is done with the mind and with the breath. It is very easy to do. It is especially easy when one is at the end of a major karmic cycle. The bhakti of uncompromising surrender, prapatti, to the god during a temple puja awakens the amrita. The amrita is the sweet essence from the Sahasrara chakra. It is the binding yoke to the divine. Bind yourself in the lotus posture after temple worship and simply internalize all the feeling that you had for the god during the worship. That's all there is to it. The yogi yoked within enjoys the amrita that flows from the cranium throughout his body. Devotees who want to awaken the higher chakras and sustain that awakening on the safe path will throw themselves into becoming uncompromising bhaktars. Then all the gods of all three worlds will open their hearts and shower their blessings upon them. What is my advice for those who find such uncompromising surrender hard to imagine, but realize it is their next step on the path? Go on pilgrimage once a year, read scriptures daily, perform puja daily, go to the temple at least once a week, if not more often. Fulfill these disciplines known as the Panchanitya karmas. This is the basic Shaiva Siddhanta sadhana. But on another level, one will not be able to fulfill the Panchanitya karmas if he or she is not fulfilling the yamas and the niyamas, for these are the character builders. We must possess a good character to be successful in bhakti yoga. Therefore, begin at the beginning. Right thought produces right speech, which produces right action. Right thought is produced through the knowledge of dharma, karma, samsara, and the all-pervasiveness of God. This knowledge, correctly understood, disallows the devotee from having wrong thoughts. He simply has right thought, and of course right speech and action follow naturally. Shaiva Siddhanta extols the guru and says that when the student is ready, one will appear. The guru will always restate the dharma to a devotee who is having problems with bhakti yoga practices. He will always direct the mind to the beginning teachings, for it would be obvious that the student does not understand one or more of them. If the devotee is not following the Panchanitya karmas or the yamas and niyamas, it is obvious that purified knowledge of these four areas, dharma, karma, samsara, and shivaness, needs to be strengthened. Individual practices to advance spiritual unfoldment include prostrating before God, gods, and guru, full body, face down, arms and hands outstretched, and in that act, total giving up, giving up, giving up, giving up. In Sanskrit, it is called pranipata, falling down in obeisance. What are these devoted ones giving up? By this act, they are giving the lower energies to the higher energies. It is a merger, a blending. When one is performing this traditional devotional act, awakening true prapatti, it is easy to see the lower energies from the base of the spine, the Muladhara chakra, rising up the spine through all 6 chakras above it and out through the top of the head. It is transmuting, changing the form of the base energies which breed conflict and resistance, mine and yours, and you and me, division, insecurity, and separateness, into the spiritual energies of us and we, amalgamation, security, togetherness. Once the giving up of the lower is total, body and face on the ground, hands outstretched before the image of God, gods, or guru, those energies are surrendered into the higher chakras within the devotee, and it is a blissful moment into the consciousness of us and ours, we and oneness, an inseparable love, thus claiming their individuality, not as a separate thing, but as a shared oneness with all. Thereafter, these devoted ones, having been transformed, are able to uplift others, to harmonize forces around them that they work with day after day after day. year after year after year. This total surrender, puberty, is the meaning of Siddhanta. This is the true meaning of Vedanta. The combination of both and the pure practice of puberty, as just described, brings out from within the deeper meanings of Vedanta, the Vedic philosophy, without having to depend on the path of words, lectures, and debates. My Sadguru was once heard saying, "It's not in books, you fool." And that's it for today's lesson. Take care of yourselves, have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Om Namah Shivaya.